All right, so this is my review of Oath Cycles in Austin, Texas. They are on 37th Street. This is for work that they did to the Sportster here, to Sportster, apparently 883 with 1200 top end on it. Anyway, so I got the bike back yesterday. The backstory is on this is that I've had this bike in their shop for yesterday was 55 days. And the only issue that I was having them diagnose and repair was the engine issue. So the issue with the engine was that after about 30 minutes of riding it, for some reason, really badly, it would start pushing oil out through the breathers here, down through the bottom of the carb, and then of course, as you can pretty much see, like all over everything. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting issue to have when I was riding. Anyway, so I took the bike to their shop to have it repaired there and, get it all squared away so I could ride again. And 55 days later, I get the bike back. I actually wasn't even supposed to be getting it back completed because as of like last Saturday, they had still not gotten this bike done. So apparently their mechanic came in. He finally lives in Austin now, but apparently was living in San Antonio and commuting back and forth to do the work. So he apparently magically came in this weekend and finally got the bike done. So they didn't want to just let me walk away with paying only $200. They wanted at least, close to the $1,000 that I paid yesterday to have it done. Anyway, so let's go ahead and just get down to what I saw that I'm a bit frustrated about when I got my bike. Obviously, as I told you, I feel it was a rush job, and I think some of the stuff that you're about to see will show that it definitely was a rush job, and I'll go ahead and just start right here and go around the bike. I have noticed an abundance of these awesome new high-grade zip ties. Really great stuff. Yeah, and the frustrating thing about that is it comes with brackets. Amazingly enough, Harley splurged and put these on the bikes probably to hold them on places like that, but unfortunately when you're rushing, I guess you forget things like that. So that was one issue. Another issue, this right here, a bolt missing for my Ford controls. I know that may seem like a relatively small issue, but it really doesn't to me because it looks like it goes through the actual motor itself. So I can imagine that's probably important. And as you can see, it was there before when I took it to the shop because there definitely is residue from where a bolt was removed, just not reinstalled. So that's a bit frustrating for me. Another really annoying thing is this right here. As you can see, it was dropped against something. As of what that something was, I don't know. It's a bit frustrating. You can see dent marks here as well. This did not go to their shop in this shape. There was no crack on the jugs up here. So yeah, that's something new that they got added on. I guess that's a custom touch of their shop. Again, just a bit frustrating. I know it's not a huge issue, doesn't affect rideability. The motor does start and run miraculously. And so, at least that part did get completed. One other frustrating thing, like my bike had the wires tucked nicely before it went in the shop. It definitely did not have anything hanging down like this. This is incredibly frustrating for me. I'm a bit of a neat freak, so to see this sitting down here like that really kind of pisses me off. And to be honest, I'm not generally the type of guy that will complain, too much about issues, but I think 55 days to get this product back here, it's a bit frustrating. The total bill was $985. One thing that still frustrates me about this shop is that one of the issues that they quote unquote say was the latest delay was the push rods. They said that the push rods were slightly bent. They didn't know why, so they wanted to go ahead and get that issue addressed. They told me I had a stock cam in there, so in my mind I hear stock cam. Why wouldn't it be stock push rods if everything else is essentially a stock part? For some reason, they didn't figure that out and said they were measuring for about 2 weeks or trying to figure out what push rods were needed. And then finally yesterday tell me, oh yeah, we ended up going with stock push rods, which was a bit frustrating because I can't understand how they couldn't figure that out initially. So yeah, honestly, I'm not happy with the shop. I'm not happy with what I ended up paying at the end of the day. They have a real huge disconnect in communication between the front of the shop and the back of the shop. They had a guy working there who apparently is just a friend, but to him himself thinks that he's a part owner of the company. So I think they might need to let him know that he's not. But yeah, you know, I've got all kinds of documentation from this entire situation. I've got, well, I asked for receipts to verify that my pistons and the parts that they put inside of the motor were new. To this date, I have not actually received copies of actual receipts. The only thing I have is a shop receipt with a price for the parts on it. So I have no actual verification to know that those parts, when they were installed, were actually brand new parts. So I'm probably going to be speaking to the Attorney General's office about that to see if there's any recourse that I have, so I can at least have those for my records, because I think it is something that's worthy to have if I do sell this bike and say, hey, I put new pistons in it and this, that, and the other. Anyway, I'm not really sure what else to say here. It wasn't a thrilling process. I'm pretty certain I won't be ever going back there if I can avoid it. So yeah, if you got any questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask, because I definitely don't want anyone having this same experience and spending as much money as I had to for what I feel is a really subpar product.